Going headless involves physically separating what your customers see, your storefront, from where your commerce data actually lives. Agencies and development shops pitch this aggressively. They promise lightning-fast load times, total design freedom, and an end to the performance bottlenecks that frustrate growing brands. To understand the trade-off, look at how a standard Shopify store operates. Shopify natively controls both the back-end data, like inventory and checkout, and the front-end visual theme in one connected system. In a headless architecture, you decouple that visual front-end. Your storefront becomes a standalone entity that communicates with Shopify's backend purely through an API. You gain creative control over every pixel and interaction. However, this shift forces you to own, build, and maintain a custom software application from scratch. This creates a financial reality check. Many brands enter these discussions expecting the cost of a routine site refresh, only to find the price tag of a complex software migration. Look at this first-year setup comparison. A premium Shopify theme establishes a low baseline. Building a custom headless front-end demands $50,000 to $150,000. Plus, custom front-ends require high ongoing developer retainers, driving total costs significantly higher. Smaller brands often absorb these costs under the assumption that new technology automatically translates to higher sales, creating an expensive overcorrection for a problem that might not exist. Before committing 6 figures to an architectural rebuild, you have to determine if your site is slow because you have hit Shopify's structural limits, or simply because your current theme is messy and bloated. A headless build changes how your marketing team functions on a daily basis. This matrix compares daily operational shifts. Under a standard theme, marketing agility is high. Non-technical members independently launch pages and adjust layouts. The limitation is you are bound to Shopify's standardized logic. Moving to headless escapes the theme editor, letting designers create any imaginable layout. But freedom introduces friction. Simple marketing tasks now require developers to write code and push deployments. Achieving absolute control over the user experience comes at the direct expense of your marketing team's daily speed and autonomy. Shopify released 2 proprietary tools to help manage the complexity of custom builds: Hydrogen and Oxygen. Hydrogen is a starter kit of pre-built commerce components. It saves developers from programming standard functions like shopping carts and product grids from scratch. Oxygen acts as the native hosting layer. Instead of managing external servers, your developers deploy the custom front-end directly from the Shopify dashboard. These tools lower the barrier to entry, but they do not eliminate the need for specialized React developers to run your storefront. Brands tolerate this complexity to recapture lost page speed and prevent mobile shoppers from bouncing. Look at this data chart. While a custom headless build is fast, a properly audited standard Shopify theme meets 90% of that performance. When standard themes slow down, the cause is usually specific, fixable culprits: app bloat, unoptimized images, and messy scripts. Cleaning apps and compressing assets drives the majority of the gains. Maintaining those speeds requires internal discipline. Your team must avoid installing quick-fix apps for every minor feature and keep the code clean. For most brands, you don't need to rebuild the entire house when the only problem is a cluttered kitchen. Deciding on a headless migration requires a specific mathematical justification based on your revenue scale. Let's follow this decision tree. The primary filter is annual revenue. Are you generating over $10 million? If your brand makes under $5 million, headless is a misallocation of capital. The answer is to stop, clean up your code, and optimize your existing theme. The math fails for small to medium businesses. A 6-figure build drains cash reserves, and at lower traffic volumes, a fractional conversion lift cannot generate enough revenue to pay back the investment. If you are in the enterprise tier doing over $10 million, we follow the yes path to the next requirement: technical complexity. Do you need a custom multi-region architecture or complex interactive product builders that standard themes cannot support? Even at high revenue, without complex bespoke needs, an optimized theme remains the smartest choice. If you do require that complexity, you hit the final barrier. Do you have the budget for an in-house development team or a consistent agency retainer? If you have the revenue scale, the technical requirements, and the budget to support ongoing maintenance, then it makes sense to go headless. At 8 figures of revenue and above, The volume is high enough that a 0.3% conversion lift from a custom architecture generates verifiable ROI. An architectural rebuild requires a massive commitment. It should only happen when your brand hits a definitive technical wall, never as a band-aid for poor site hygiene. If you are trying to determine what is bottlenecking your site's performance, use the link to get a free tech stack and performance audit. We'll give you a clear, data-driven answer on where to invest.